What's going on, guys? Brandon here. End of the day here, Monday, 30th. Unfortunately, I didn't get to play today. I want to cover over a few things we had going on with our trend lines today, right? These big blue guys we had mapped out since day one of the gap down and finally came into some plays today, and you can see the play-by-play here where there's these blue lines that we marked off on the daily. We'll go over that in a quick second here, but just looking at this and how pre-market played on Facebook, this was such an easy short. We had these lines marked on the chart since the gap down. Perfect resistance play here. Shied the 200, crashed under there. On this relief, on this retracement, it shied that gold line, which was so important in the last couple days here, which had a ton of interaction. We went over that. It popped back up. You could easily reshorted there. Of the fail, even closing down here because of the weakness, because that was just so weak. That would have been an instant ad right there. Okay, as it broke down into previous resistance here, it didn't even stop. It blew right through our 172 whole number, right? Came down in our first interaction point right there, right on our blue line, right from the daily. So you could have anticipated this bounce perfectly if you charted this out with me on our last video. And these lines had perfect plays in them. Unfortunately, I get to play this. This would have been super easy calls. I wish I was up for Monday, but real life and work gets in the way once in a while. So on our two support channels here that we made, click it to the daily quick here. We picked up these points all throughout the daily chart. On the initial gap down is here. When it came up here and I seen the second red day, we had to start charting out ultra lows, which are these blue support lines, right? We had great interaction many times throughout these blue lines. I'm sorry, when I record, it's very freezy. I click this. There you go, 5, 6, 7 times. Re-click. Hopefully I can sort that issue out sooner than later. Alright, well, you get what I'm talking about here. Look at these interaction lines with previous support and resistances all on the daily. So a bounce, see this wick support right here? Wick support, a little bit of red body support there as well I like to use, but wick support here, 2 wicks, 1 right here. So that's why I kind of created that channel right here, guys. Wick support, wick resistance, and I marked it blue because that's where we were coming down to. That's where that was going to be our big play for today, and I had these marked out since since forever, since the gap down there days ago. So as you see in the interaction, huge sell-off, perfect bounce place here on our first blue line, broke right through it, very bearish, retraced to the 9, could have easily shorted that down, held by into the 9. So if you're waiting for the reversal play, the start was right here and the confirmation is right here. So if you would have took this long and risked a break of previous blue line, might have got stopped out, but the first play on the blue line on the channel here would have been a great scalp bounce. As you can see, this tweezer top shot it right back down, found support high or low. Here's where it breaks back over the 9 and recovers our blue support line on the daily, right? This would have been my reversal line to get long, and obviously worked out quite well throughout the day. Smashed right through 50 in the VWAP, huge spike up, short cover obviously from everybody that popped in to here. If they had some shares riding on there, if you would have got in short on these bounces and broke it down, clearly going to be covering back up there once it gets to your initial entry point. If you have any kind of shares on, you want to go reverse on that. So tomorrow, I'm hoping we're going to get some interaction here with these lines. If Facebook starts to ride up, because the 50 did cross over the 100, we've got to see what it does at the 200. If it gets smashed right back down or not, we'll have to see. But this 170 is going to hopefully defend itself, and we're going to go up here. We're going to have intraday plays in between 170 and 174 on Facebook tomorrow. So we're going to see what pre-market checks out as, right? Netflix was a big miss today for me. I wish I would have been here for this as well. I mean, big tech sell-offs. And a lot of times when we're not making a swing video here, guys, I want you to understand that me and Connor talked about live on the SPY here on the daily. You can easily see, a rollover point here. Had it charted out. Didn't even make it to that. It started rolling over, day of, and that's where the bearish signal started closing lower high on this daily chart because, again, wick resistance. Wick resistance. I always use the wicks, and you can see this thing shied it. Didn't even get there, and just started crushing. So that's why our long swings weren't really going to come into play too much here when we're on the top of this channel and having this rejection point until the SPY finds itself either down in this 278.80s area if it holds up tomorrow or the next day. If not, it loses it, and it's going to defend its original 265.25 area on the trend line. It's going to have to defend that and then move back up. And then if for some odd reason it breaks through in the 50, we should get some channel bounces way down, maybe some quick wicks for another 2 or 3 points, but I expect it to bounce no lower than that 260 or 276. So anyway, Netflix coming up here. had a nice curl up. It looked like it actually might get bullish, and then huge sell off today, which was a great miss. Because pre-market, just look how weak that is. Just like Facebook, flat. 50 was holding it down all day yesterday, just huge flat. And of course, we had this daily support marked out from somewhere. That's why I try to keep my lines up for as long as possible. And I must have had this set out for a breakout over here. So you can see my blue support line is right here. So I must have been trading this long off the blue support here for a swing. Pretty sure that's what I had that at. But it bounced exactly at our trend line on the daily here, these tops. So this is going to be on watch tomorrow. Hopefully we can pick up a bounce from this trend line, and it gives us at least a dead cat bounce to at least the consolidation up here to like the 340s, maybe reject the 100 or 200 and after hours pre-market coming up here tomorrow. But we're going to see if we can't just get a nice bounce play to Netflix tomorrow. One thing from the previous watch, it's LRCX was an earnings watcher that we had last week, and at the end of last week there, Thursday. And as this came up here, this was really looking great. Second day continuation didn't happen, but we looped the 200. There's a ton of interaction at this blue line right here. Okay, that's our pre-market support from the initial gap up from earnings. It tested it once live on Friday, held through the weekend here, came back down, triple tested here again on Monday, and had a little run up. But again, if you guys are marking this magic purple line here, this is that opening price I keep telling you guys to chart off. This purple, whenever you see this on my chart, is going to be that O day. That's when it opens. That 6 a.m. mark, the 3 a.m. mark, whenever the stock has its restrictions on, it was 189 flat on this one. So as you can see, you could have had great intraday setups here on that opening price, right? That 189 opening dash, I really like to use that as a whole number. And you can see it rejected perfectly right at that. Right at the end of the day here, 13:30. So coming up to like 2 o'clock. All right, so we're gonna keep LRCX on for Tuesday here. Keep all these levels prominent. I'd like to see this thing maybe reject our magic purple line a few more times, come down, but it's gonna negate in between yesterday's close and this purple line. If it comes down and tests blue again, which is a big support line, and it does break through to this 184.57. Could also change this blue. This is a daily support line. I'll change that quick so you know what that is. That is going to be a daily support line, and I'll see where we have that charted out all the way through here. Right, this thing continues super long term all the way back to early 17. Right, on the daily chart. So we have a ton of interactions at this point. I marked it off a little lower just because it has consolidation points, and we're kind of cutting a lot of wicks off here, but it does correlate really well with the pre-market movement. So we're going to keep that a little higher than the wicks, because something when the earnings win that's keeping it running, I think this thing might continue up. So look for LRCX tomorrow, and that's going to be a main watch for me, seeing what it does above the moving averages, and if it gets over this 189 hump. By tomorrow, its next resistance point is going to be 190. So we're going to see how that point plays out on LRCX. So that's pretty much all I just wanted to chat about quick today. We're going to have most likely some plays on Apple, Netflix, all that stuff. We're going to come over. Apple was looking really good. Hit our daily support line pretty nicely today. I wouldn't say it was there's no other test. It had a lot of consolidation. It was a ton of chop on the daily right here is where it's messing around. I'd like to see Apple continue, but with all tech and going down, and SPY, I think AMD is the only thing that's really going bullish still. So yeah, definitely. So maybe we'll check out AMD on these runs tomorrow. It's kind of a slow mover for me, but if not, we're going to be looking at Tesla for breaking off a support line we had here, and it's been running down with the market 2 days. Had a unique double bottom here after hours with this weird candle, but I'm expecting a relief move sooner than later. We're going to try to get Tesla over this 292.63 area, but this is on loose watch. I got some other stuff to fry, and we're going to see how well the scanners do tomorrow. And we got some other stuff to look at, so I'll see you guys pre-market. I'll talk to you later.